Today, I want to talk about why you should donate to my organization, Multimedia Studies Poetry Foundation. This is an organization that teaches college students, communication major college students, how to develop their skills in communications while using poetry to help them. I think this organization is something that you should really donate to. I think it provides a lot for the kids. I think it gives them an opportunity to branch out and really get a better understanding of multimedia studies and communications. Putting poetry into this really ties it in and makes them really kind of get a more broad understanding of what communications and multimedia studies are. I believe this is a great idea. It's going to be a foundation in which we will also offer scholarships for kids that join this foundation. You have to be a communications major, but we'll offer scholarships for kids that join this program. We feel it's just, again, like I said, we feel it's just a positive program for them to join in. The fact that we're offering a scholarship, we hope it's a motivating factor for them that we're offering a scholarship and that we can get more kids to join by doing that. Because we know a lot of the situations are with money for college. College is very expensive, and if we can provide a positive outlook for them, for their future, and a positive outlet for them, we can also give them a scholarship. It can really help them because not only are they getting a scholarship, they're also getting something out of it that's positive and they can learn stuff from. Another reason why I feel you should donate to this organization is because every year we'll have an event. We'll have a slam poetry event. It will be for the people that join this program, and they have to sign up very early in advance to get a spot because it will be full. We expect it to be full. There'll be hundreds of people in attendance watching, and then there'll be judges that critique everyone's critique everyone's speech, and they give them a grade and so on and so forth. Now, this is a program, so there's no grade for this, but this grade that they give the students will just kind of help the students figure out what they're doing wrong and figure out how they can move forward and do certain things better. And it'll also give them positives and things that they did really well, and the things that they can continue to do the way that they're doing. So I think that that's a really big thing. And of course, this all ties into education. We're taking two things that are very educational and tying them together, so it really relates really well to having success in college. And like I said before, I think poetry is something that you see in everyday life. You see it in everyday life. So in a way, I think we use it in everyday life. Use in so many things, whether it's songs or you go to a slam poetry event, things like that. So I think tying communications with slam poetry, and communications is all about communicating with people and interacting with people in many different ways. Slam poetry and just poetry in general is that way too. It's about interacting with people. So I think combining these two things is really a great idea. I think it really branches out to help the students, and it really does great for the school as well. We will also have a podcast. One cool thing about this podcast is that any of the students who want to join the podcast are able to join the podcast. So any students who are, of course, in the program can join the podcast. So if some student in the program wants to join the podcast, they're more than welcome to join the podcast, and they can talk about any subjects that relate to communications, multimedia, and poetry. We feel this will only help further develop the intelligence of our students that are in the program. Being able to have them go on a podcast and talk about those three subjects and talk about whatever they want in the field of those three subjects, I think will really help them develop their skills, and will really let them get into help them develop their communication skills, because they can talk to each other and everyone's not going to have the same opinion, right? Some people are going to think this, other people are going to think this, and it will be a really interesting task to pull off. It's one of the things that we're really excited to put out there, because we think that this is one of the things that will really help the students, having a podcast. And I think it will also help them in the world of media, if they want to get into that too within communications, because you see a lot of people nowadays making podcasts and they make great money from it. A lot of people watch them. It's gotten very big in the last couple of years. So another reason why we're doing this podcast thing is so the students can really get a better understanding of things around them in the world, things that are going on, and they can get a better understanding of how to adapt to those things. Um, Overall, I think this is an organization that you should take your time to look at and donate to. Um, I think it's just an organization that prides itself on education and prides itself on mixing two things together that are very influential in these students' lives. And the fact that it also gives scholarships to these students, you have to respect that, because scholarships mean a lot to students. School is not, as I said before, school is not something that's very easy to afford. So giving out scholarships for students doing positive things is very influential in our opinion.